And we are back for the winners match here in Group B, going on to another TVZ between Andre and Modesty. Yeah.
You're doing so well up until that point, Andre, and
I just couldn't get through that last bit.
It's so unfortunate when that
Hey man,
happens.
I'm an old man. I have Alzheimer's or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's
not
got
my fault.
problems, guys. Go easy on him. We only have him along just to make him feel good.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's why it's so problematic when players don't use their proper names, because it confuses us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it really starts getting unpleasant. So guys, please use your proper names in TLS, because otherwise the casters are in serious trouble. It makes us look deeply unprofessional, and we don't need your help doing that.
Not only is he using a different ID, but he put like an underscore in it. I thought you only put an underscore in your ID if it's like it's already taken. But surely Widow Killer was not already
on the
taken.
TLS server.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no way that was taken. But he put a freaking underscore there. I don't understand why.
No one's believing it. But yeah, it is going to be Modesty versus Andre in this, the winners match. If I had to call it, this was what I would have said would be the least likely winners match. It's like it's been inverted.
Yeah, I would have said this was a losers match.
This is we can still call it the losers match if you like.
But then I think we'll just get really confused then.
Yeah, I'm already confused. But yeah, I would have imagined that at least Michael would beat Andre, and as we saw, he probably should have done. It was interesting stuff. But yeah, all credit to these guys. They've both, I think it's fair to say that in the individual games they fairly well deserve to win. They just seem to keep their cool a little bit more than their possibly more favored opponents.
Yep. And you know what's really funny though is I'm feeling a little bit bad for Zaraki, because how would you feel being Zaraki? You know, you go to the losing match, you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll probably just play against Andre, and you know maybe he had some game plan for that.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's like, what? I'm playing who? Michael?
It's horrible. It's such a bad situation for him. It's also not the ideal situation for Michael either. So both those guys are going to be possibly commiserating with one another, thinking, how did we end up here? But I think this group was really nice for Andre, especially because he had only Zerg to prepare against.
Yes.
And that's a great advantage going into a group. The other guys had to prepare for both ZVZ and TVZ. And so Andre was just able to really focus, and I would imagine prepare hard for that, because I understand he's quite big on the practice.
Yeah, I doubt he prepared for Mass Hydra ZVT though. I'm not sure anyone else is crazy enough to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe if he went and like found Jimbag or something, Jimbag might try that. But you know, not something I would have expected he'd seen in practice.
Yeah.
But hey, he handled it decently well. And...
yeah. I think it took him a little while to get the hang of it, but eventually he got on top of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So with that, let us see how he does here against Modesty in the winners match.
Let's go.
And here we go. At the bottom right position as the Peach Zerg, we have Widow Killer _, aka Modesty. And as Dwarf Clog as the Purple Terran, we have Andre.
Yes, we do. And this game, I would imagine Andre is going to be a little bit more in his element, because this is probably a game where he can call the shots a little bit more. And Andre seems to be the kind of guy who likes to do that. He likes it to be according to his plan, whether his plan is good or bad. He likes to execute it his way, and so I think that's probably going to be a little bit more possible than it was against Michael, because Michael is just one of the guys who dictates it from the beginning. His strategy usually seems to be the overpowering one, which his opponent then has to react to. But I think in this one, Andre's probably going to be able to take the initiative a little bit more easily.
I would agree. I think that's pretty good analysis. And of course, when Andre dictates how the game's going to go, then you have no idea what to expect as his opponent as well.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting. Now I'm trying to remember what he did on this map in the qualifiers. I'm sure he must have played a TVZ that we casted. I don't really remember though.
No.
Oh, is this? Oh, actually, no. He played against Zero on this map, right? And just kind of got smashed.
Oh yeah,
sure.
That was a weird game.
Anyway,
Well, exactly. You're never quite sure what you're going to see from Andre because I don't think that was fairly representative of his skill when he got, as I say, smashed by Zero.
yep.
Although Zero is of course a very, very good player, and he'd played impressively well actually in his last qualifier.
Yes, indeed. And although he's the one that dropped out, right? Yeah.
No, he was playing against Mad, wasn't he, in the final? And,
No, I mean he's dropped out of the tournament. Zero has because he can't play.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
which is very unfortunate.
Yeah. So despite showing some really awesome games in the qualifier, he I think he's going on a holiday to Italy or something. I don't know. He's going somewhere.
Is he
It's
crazy?
Yeah.
Is he crazy? Yeah, well, someone else is going to take his place. That's quite unfortunate because it was really entertaining watching him versus Mad. That was one of my kind of series picks of the tournament so far. Really
Ooh,
good stuff.
we got a 2-rack Elegant.
So
But-
we do.
But
we
he's
do,
not even
it's in
hiding the
plain
second one.
sight. Yeah. Well, he's not hiding the first one or the second one. Yeah. Well, that's interesting, but it may go unscouted for quite a while. And now, having built... Okay, I thought he was going to float it back into a hidden location, but he's actually going to... What's he doing?
What the hell? What the? Is he? Is he just trying to make a better? What? What the hell?
What?
What are
I
you
just
doing?
freaked out. I just tripped out. What did I just see?
What are you doing? Make
Oh,
Marines!
Oh,
Make
yeah,
Marines! Hit M! Hit the M key! He's not
was
making them! He actually made a defensive 2-racks without making Marines. Are you kidding me? Really?
It's so annoying.
Why would you do that? You really think this isn't South Park? This isn't some random D+ Peruvian who asked you where you're from? That's unacceptable. Why would you do that ever?
That's the weirdest.
Oh my god.
See? Oh dear. That needs to be a soundbite. That's your biggest tirade to date, undoubtedly. Andre, I take my hat off to you. You are the king of not cheese, but just straight up plain weirdness.
This is
And I
the
can't explain.
anti-cheese. This is holy shit, I'm playing the Cheese King. I better make every
But he's
defensive
not.
building ever before
But he's
doing
not.
anything.
He's
Oh
playing
wait, no,
against
he's not
Modesty.
even playing the Cheese King. What's he doing?
He's
trying to
actually
play
just
Michael.
playing. This is crazy. I don't know what I'm watching, but Jesus.
I mean,
okay, here he comes with 4 Marines.
Did he
against-
just assume that because Modesty is like a slightly lower rated player than him that he would get 9 pulled or something?
Probably, yeah. Probably. And so instead of a 1-rack expansion, got a
the
2-rack.
thing is, if you're gonna 2-racks, then why wouldn't you just make Marines? And if you see he's 12 hatching, you can pressure him as anyway, right? Like if you're gonna 2-racks and then expand, that's okay, you know. But
seemed
then you
like-
should make Marines.
I think he just wanted to be safe.
Yeah, but it's bad. It's bad.
It's not optimal, as you would say.
No, it's bad.
But-
It's
okay.
not. It's not even suboptimal.
That's
This-
when you're feeling polite.
Yes, suboptimal is when it's bad, but I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with
Yeah.
it.
You hear that, Andre? Sale is not okay with your conduct, and there will be a discussion after this. I hope you have him on Skype.
I don't know.
This is
Shinrei is telling me that apparently this is how you played TVZ 6 years ago.
wow.
Yeah,
And was Andre around 6 years ago?
possibly.
I wasn't around 6 years ago.
But this is more importantly. This isn't. I mean, like 6 years ago, people were still using, you know, like I don't know,
Landlines.
floppy disks, man, and landlines and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to use those anymore.
And Concord.
Yeah, man.
Well, Concord was pretty good. Well, anyway, so Andre is doing a build from the 90s, and we're gonna see how it plays out against Modesty's slightly more current style of play. I'm actually quite curious because it does seem like he's managed to pump out a decent number of Marines, maybe slightly quicker than would usually be expected. We only have 1 sunken colony at the, well, it's not even a sunken colony, 1 creep colony at the front of his natural expansion. So he's not too heavily defended, and that is a decent little Marine group that could come out in his general direction. So he's going to have to be a little bit careful. He does have a decent group of Lings though that are going to be able to scout around and keep a good eye on things, and he does of course have the Overlord floating outside the natural expansion as well. So Andre shouldn't be able to catch him too quickly with any kind of sneaky timing. And we do already have a factory on the way up, I should say, which is definitely a sign that he's going to go into science vessels in the fairly near future.
Yes, indeed. And in the meantime, the mutas are on the way. Range is not quite halfway yet, but it should be done shortly after the mutas arrive, if not just before.
Yep.
And it looks like, once again, the barracks being a little bit idle. It looks like he might be making something. Oh, he's just gonna save some money for turrets, I guess. Okay, so he's gonna cut a couple of rounds of production. Meanwhile, we got a drone going to the left side main. Gonna get that third base going. He did actually add the hydraulic then very quickly, so you can see he's actually just completely stopped after the initial 9 mutas and gone straight to lurkers instead of making. Well, it looks like he's made a couple more here, but he's really not going to make too many here. I mean, sometimes you see players really, even going 3-hatch muta, they'll make quite a good number of mutas, just to, on the try and use a great muta micro. Meanwhile, might catch them on this ramp here, and not quite. Really should not go onto that ramp.
Yeah, definitely not. And it looks like Andre's going to just kind of pull back and recollect himself a bit, try and get a better engagement position out in the open ground. Imagine to land a few decent hits, but at the cost of a Marine or two. Nice missile turret positioning, but it looks like, that's very, very interesting. Modesty doesn't even care about missile turrets. He's going to fly straight into them. He's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to lose a couple of mutas in the meantime, unfortunately. But, and getting one more muta caught right there. These mutas definitely not being too effective. And Andre is well turreted up with his natural as well, and he's replacing the turrets in his main too. This is really not going anywhere for Modesty. He needs to find a better avenue of attack right away, because he's just going to start losing mutas this way. Finally now getting in there and using his micro to try and take down some of these Marines. Yep,
and trying to figure out how many. Oh, taking more hits. Whoa.
Oh no.
Man, he has forced an extra 3 turrets here that are gonna just get in the way of things later on. But whoa, taking a lot more hits. I mean, doing a nice counterattack though, or not really counterattack, but a simultaneous attack in the natural, picks off 1 turret. Really should have maybe shift clicked onto one of these other turrets and tried to pick it off, but is creating some small openings for himself. Meanwhile, he's got a few hydras running over to the left side. This makes some lurkers before the Marines can get out. These mutas, he's taking a lot of damage on them, but really, they don't need to actually do that much besides just pin the Terran back a little bit. So as long as he gets the lurkers up in time, but the left side base, can start getting his tech up, it doesn't actually matter with these mutas.
Right.
Yeah,
he should be okay. Bunker range is really scary. Does bunker still increase Marine range even after they've got the range upgrade?
Yes, it's always +1 range.
Because I was watching them, the mutas try and micro that supply depot down, and that bunker had ridiculous range. That was insane.
Yeah. Well, that's why there was that weird flash opening where you would go 1 racks expand and get range against Protoss, because base Marine range is 4, I believe, and if you get then you get +1 from range and then +1 from the bunker to 6. And goons without range are also 4 range, same as Marines, but they get +2 from their range upgrade. So range goons have longer range than range Marines, but range Marines in a bunker have the exact same range as goons.
That's insane.
Yep, fun fact.
I like it. I never really properly noticed that up until today. I was only dimly aware of it back when that build was really being done. And Andre now, he hasn't suffered too badly after the mutilous harass. He's pushing out, but Modesty hasn't suffered badly either. He lost a few mutas. It didn't go well for him. He didn't really manage to limit Andre's Marine count at all. Didn't manage to take out any science vessel or anything, but even so, it's not too bad. He's finding himself in an even position. We have a little bit of a weird lurker run by here.
Whoa.
I think that was an awful idea. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking he was going to achieve from that. It looks like this lurker's doing a complete U-turn, going up 1 ramp and down the other. Slightly peculiar little move right there, but he's recollecting himself for some kind of thing with a weird small Ling lurker muta force that's kind of running around. I don't think that's going to be enough to do any real damage to this army of Andres that's moving out. He might be able to blockade it over on his side of the map for a little bit though, right there.
Oh, these Marines might run into it though. They're running into it. Ooh, pulls back after just losing 3. Yeah, that's definitely a weird lurker attack. I was wondering why he. Oh my god, this vessel! There's not enough mutas though. It's okay. Oh, he's gonna go for the tank. The tank might not be okay. But the tank. Oh, the tank falls, and he's gonna fall back to the lurkers.
Yeah, I think though why does he not hotkey his science vessels? Andre, keep an eye on his science vessels. it looks like
No.
Andre is probably going to be able to keep hold of the science vessel and push forward through these lurkers if he really wants to. If he has a good marine spread, then maybe he can actually get through that without too many losses. D-Matrixing one marine, and here he goes now under the cover of the D-Matrix marine. Will we see targeting from Modesty? No, we will not. The lurkers are all going to be taken down. Nice little bit of micro there from Andre to get rid of that little lurker blockade. And this is going to force Modesty quite a long way back. The Defilers are not done yet. The Defiler Mound is only halfway done, so Consume is going to be a little way away yet. So he's going to have a pretty edge of the seat time defending over on the left hand side if Andre decides to push.
Yeah, Andre looks like he's getting a little bit lost here. Okay, there we go. By the way, I think the problem with the vessel is that it is hotkeeyed, but it's in a group with like the Marines. So when he attack moves at a random place, the vessel just moves there, which is obviously not great. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on there. Anyway, some Lurkerling going to come in from the back. He's got to be careful though. If Andre might want to leave a couple of units just camping the top of the this narrow ramp just to block them. But actually, no. Is he going to go for a counterattack? No, he's coming swinging back around. Meanwhile, one Marine. Oh, he's going to do the D-Matrix thing again. Oh, it's going to work. It could be beautiful.
Oh no!
And by beautiful, I mean not. Unless he was Zerg.
We saw Andre do that much more awfully previously, where he just kind of threw all his Marines down the ramp, and I was afraid he was going to do exactly the same again, and he was going to say goodbye to his entire Marine count. But this time, fortunately, he knew when to give up, which is a very, very important skill in StarCraft. And give up in time he did. But this force is probably going to be mopped up in fairly short order by the Lurkerling that's going to come in to flank it. I can't imagine it surviving against that. But he is coming up with a decent number of reinforcements. That's quite a lot of extra Marines. So we'll see exactly how he fares and whether he can regroup it with what's left.
It's going to be too late though. Here we go. There's the sandwich. And where's the burrow? There's the burrow. And this force is goodbye.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely goodbye. That's a lot of medics right there.
Oh, we get some vessels.
Leaving the science vessels in there to rot or in fact be demolished by Scourge, which in fact they were. And Andre now has a few interesting little groups of Marines dotted around the map. One little group of Marines which he may actually have lost track of, hiding behind a gazer over somewhere on the left-hand side in the middle of the map on that gas base. Rather, I wonder if he's actually lost those completely. No, he remembers they're there. Phew, that was a little bit of a loss for him. Scan goes down and he's going to try and take this lurker position. I think that's going to be quite expensive, especially under Dark Swarm. He needs to pull back. But meanwhile, Andre is able to get the third base up and running pretty easily. And that was basically uncontested. So he's not in too bad of a position economically. And only now is Modesty getting his fourth base. And that's by no means a foregone conclusion because Andre is still pushing towards it with a pretty significant force. And it looks like he's going to be able to get up there. And he's probably going to be able to take that fourth base down. And there's very little to meet him as well. In that third base main as well, which could be a little bit of a problem for Modesty if he loses that.
Indeed it will, but we do have a counterattack getting ready, although it's going to get intercepted by some Marines. I was a bit curious because those SCVs that he...
nice!
Wow, nice snipe there. Very nice snipe. But the SCVs he transferred to the top left did go in Overlord vision range, so really Modesty, if he was paying attention to the minimap, should know it's there, but it doesn't look like he knows, or he hasn't reacted to it yet. Meanwhile, nice little control here at the left side, going to make sure that, or going to cancel that base, and yeah, as you said, this base is completely undefended. There is one Defiler there that has no energy, needs to consume something. Meanwhile, it looks like Modesty was too busy with the counterattack here at the natural, but that's going to get cleaned up very easily as well. So Modesty now definitely on the back foot here. How is he going to hold this bottom left main? He's bringing out some units from the Night Scout. He's going to ultra this cap from there. That might even go down if he loses his base.
Oh no! Moves Marines running in, but there's a lurker under cover of Dark Swarm. Those Marines will be completely unable to do that. But oh, look at that! The Lings coming out from the Dark Swarm and getting absolutely melted by that count of Marines right there. Very nice from Andre, and he's going to try and skirt around right now, and he might be able to take out the Ultralisk Cavern, and that's going to be pretty nice for him if he can do that. This force is basically taken out, but it is not done yet. He still has two science vessels in the control group of Marines. There's still plenty of damage to be done. That third base, I'm amazed that we haven't seen any real concerted pressure going on. There is nothing but an empty bunker defending the third base right there. It looks like these lurkers are going to be, definitely able to clean out.
Oh, he's going to erase the mineral line, though. Modesty isn't paying attention. Actually, Andre's not paying attention either.
Nobody cares. Andre completely forgets that he...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you do not erase her. Oh, no, there we go. All right, that's slightly better.
Oh, will
he should patrol here, though.
Scourge arrive? Yeah, he should patrol, but he's not going to. There are a bunch of Scourge just hatched out, but they've gone straight away from the science vessel, and he is able to do significant damage to the mineral line, killing almost all of the drones right there. And Modesty, a huge drop going into the back of Modesty's main base. That is one hell of a lot of Marines. 4 dropships. Am I seeing things? I think that he probably could have stuffed a few more Marines in there if he wants to, but that is terrifying. And the main base is just completely trashed. Modesty is trying to get units back, but I think this might be Andre's master move. He is going to be able to completely ruin Modesty's main. He's going to be able to take down all his tech. The Defiler Mound is definitely going to bite the dust in just a second here. That is a great move from Andre, and I think that is probably just about going to do it for Modesty. I can't really see what he's got left after that.
Yeah, really, really nice drop there. You know, distracting with that attack on the left side, even though it got cleaned up. Just going straight in with the drop in the back. Of course, the back of Modesty's main is kind of facing him, so it's pretty vulnerable there. And meanwhile, also getting this mineral-only base. And this top left base, as you said, one empty bunker, and it really should have been seen by the Overlords. I don't know why it's still alive here. Modesty, if he looks at the replay, is probably going to be kicking himself when he notices that. Funnily enough, though, he's not even that far behind in supply. 95 for Modesty against 123. Okay, it's a 30 supply difference. It's not great, but I would have thought it'd be much more at this point, given how this game has gone so far. Meanwhile, Defiler Mound being rebuilt to the left side. He's actually only mining with one guy on gas there. It's a bit of a mistake there. He's already short on gas.
Yeah. Modesty didn't even have a spawning pool anymore. He had to remake his spawning pool in his natural. Wow, his natural is super saturated right now. Many drones mining away there. Andre getting over to defend that mineral-only location. And the lurkers are coming in. Is there enough force behind them? I don't think there's going to be quite enough. And the Defiler goes down as well before it manages to pass any swarm. This is pretty good for Andre in terms of defense. That one siege tank looks like it might get taken down. He needs to move it back. No, it looks like the siege tank is going to die to one single lurker, which managed to burrow down in range. But more dropships loading up. It looks like Andre once again is going to go over to the
there was already
side.
a drop in the main again, it looks like. There's 3 Marines there.
Oh.
What the hell? And they, are they going to stop the upgrade? Oh my god, they might stop this upgrade. They're going to shoot the lurker. No, they're not going to stop it.
Oh. Stim would have been all it would have
Wait, the lurker doesn't have enough DPS though. He doesn't have enough DPS.
Those Marines. Finally, as the medics run out of energy, it's taken down. But we have some more dropships going over on the left-hand side. A scan goes in, and there is the Defiler Mound once again, completely undefended. It looks like that drop is going to be super effective. Modesty.
Oh, but he's got lurkers at the mineral only, though. He's got lurkers at the mineral only. He's got a lot of them. It looks like a nice lift up in time, though, before the lurkers burst. He's going to save all the SCVs, but yes, the Defiler Mound is going to fall once again. The Ultra Cavern might even fall. There's only Lings here. There's nothing coming out of the Nidus just yet. The Fire Bat getting taken down early by the Lings, but these Marines are still going to be quite effective. These are 1-1 Marines, although the Lings are actually 1-1 as well, but here we go. 5 Marines are still alive. Is he going to go for the drones or for the Ultra Cavern? It looks like he's going to go for nothing.
No, he's just going to forget about it and move on. I mean, to be fair, those Marines probably weren't going to do too much more, but he could have maybe positioned them behind the minerals and done some cute stuff. The Ultra's Cavern, the Ultra's upgrade is now finished. I think that was a speed. A big engagement. Oh, and Andre runs the risk of being caught under Dark Swarm right here. He has an entire group of Marines, and the Dark Swarm will he pull back in time? He will just sort of pull back in just about time. But Andre is not running short on minerals, but running short on mining bases. And finally, Modesty is scouted up at the 11 o'clock position, so he'll waste no time in demolishing that, because as I said before, there's still just one empty bunker in some sort of deterrent, I want to say, but that's not really going to do it.
It's a fake, man. It's a fake.
It's a fake. Modesty's been afraid of it all this time, but it was just a ruse, a very clever ruse.
Man, Andre's got a crazy vessel cloud. He really needs to use this more. Look at how many vessels he's got. Look at 1 million vessels. Although, actually, having said that, they are mostly out of energy. But still, 4 vessels. Wow, Modesty also has an insane mineral bank. And Andre, as you said, is actually only mining on his natural expansion right now, basically. I mean, his main is effectively mined out. So this could be slightly problematic for him. But he still does have a pretty significant supply lead, so he should be able to get some map control again. He's going to be able to start mining this mineral only straight away. He's got to be careful, though. Oh, actually, it's just over half health, so it can't get infested. That would be funny.
Yeah, it's just an insane vessel, science vessel cloud, excuse me, going across the middle of the map right now. I just hope he doesn't leave. Oh, nice little bit of a play going down on 2 science vessels right there. I just hope he doesn't leave those science vessels hung out to dry. I'm looking for the Scourge. There should be a Scourge hatching out any second now, but I don't know if he even has a Spire anymore. He does have a Spire still in the main, but it looks like he has no intention of taking out the science vessels. And this starts to get a little bit nasty when there are so many science vessels in the game. The Zerg army just starts to get easily melted at basically 0 cost for the Terran player. He does need to recapture some kind of gas base, though. He does have the right-hand side base going up as well. But once again, I can't see why Modesty wouldn't just go and take that out.
Yeah, and oh, just as you talk about Scourge, one random Scourge here, although it looks like it's just an accidental Scourge. But man, Andre's got to be a little bit careful not to be so brave with these vessels. But he's going to take down this bottom left base, so that's going to be helpful for him. Really needs him to get a move on though, and maybe go over to the left side as well. And oh man, random Hydra's going to start killing these. What are these vessels doing even? Oh my god!
It's not the first time we've seen that.
What the hell? Silly
His vessel
Andre.
behavior is really, really strange.
Meanwhile, oh, he's running in with 3 more vessels on the left side, going to start irradiating things. He's also taking the 3 o'clock expansion, and looks like he's actually just going to eraser the Zerglings here, like a boss.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work on borrowed locals, apparently.
Yep, it does not work if you burrow. That's why a pretty easy counter to eraser is to just research burrow and borrow your drones. But, oh, looks like this one Hydra's going to get not quite another vessel.
Yeah, it looks like Andre's actually going to be able to successfully push up this ramp. I'm not quite sure. Oh, Scourge landing in on the science for that. I'm not quite sure how Modesty's not died for so long. It seemed like Andre was in a really overwhelming position after that drop went into the main base, but it just sort of really hasn't advanced any further since then.
Oh, Mass Eraser at the front, Elegant. Mass Eraser, sorry to interrupt, but this is pretty awesome. And here we go. He's going for the break. The lurkers are all dead from the irradiate. What? Oh, he's erasering? He erased the Marines. I didn't even realize. But you're right, Elegant. He erased the Marines. Oh my god, Irradiate, of course, affects all bio units, whether they are Zerg or Terran, and those Marines just got erasered.
Wow, and all his science vessels just left out in the cold right there, dangling outside to be shot down by Scourge. And I think they're probably going to be basically cleaned up right now as more Scourge come in to do just that. That was real Andre stuff right there. It was a nice move followed by a weird disaster that he brought on himself.
You know what?
What more could we ask?
I can't even fault Andre there because I didn't even realize what was happening until you said it. I was like, why the hell are the Marines dying so fast?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Insane. And now he's going in with some D-Matrix Marines. It's not quite working as it might. He's losing a lot of Marines, but he is going to be able to take the natural expansion. That's pretty bad for Modesty, but Modesty is going to launch a counterattack with some links. Back up to the 11 o'clock base. There's one siege tank and a bunker full of stuff that might just...
Oh, he might save the hatchery, Elegant. He might save the hatchery. It's going to be close. I think he's not going to save it. He's targeting it down. He's got the D-Matrix Marine. It's not going to be enough. The hatchery survives with 103 HP. Meanwhile, the Zergling counterattack at the top left has broken through the bunker, and the SCVs are going to have to flee. However, the 3 o'clock base is available. They can transfer there, and the mineral only is mining again as well. Meanwhile, the 6 o'clock base, mineral only has been taken. It's placed off location, actually, slightly, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. But man, that was a crazy attack on the left side. Andre probably not too happy about that staying alive.
Yeah. Wow, that's... Oh dear. I feel like if he just did one nice drop on the high ground there, he'd be able to do all this hard work that he's tried to accomplish in one fell swoop with just a couple of siege tanks. But it seems like that trick is passing him by a little bit. He has had drops out any number of times this game, but he hasn't really taken advantage of that little nook.
Another attack at the top left, Elegant. Only
this
4
is something,
Marines.
we have more units coming into the 11 o'clock base. The 4 Marines taken down. Andre just really, really under defending that base. I think he needs to get some sort of proper defense up and running there in order to make it safe, because he just keeps losing SCVs there and losing his position, and it keeps distracting his army as well. I think it's really being a bit of a pain in the ass for him.
Yeah, and oh man, he's gonna lift this or he's gonna die as well. Come on, dude, what are you doing? Lift it. Please don't lose a command center to Zerglings. Please don't be that guy. Okay, he's not gonna be that guy. Whew. Although I think Andre in general, he's that guy. He is that guy in general.
He really is, bless him.
Oh.
But we love him. He provides interesting games, and that's
he does indeed, and he's going in for another attack at the 6 o'clock. Oh, Plague! Oh, he EMP'd as well. He EMP'd, but he was too slow. He EMP'd after getting plagued. Interesting idea.
Yeah. Once again, he's missed the window. The Filer does manage to get a little bit of dark spawn before it eventually goes down. He's finally making good use of his irradiate as well, managing to do fairly good damage. These defilers haven't been too terrible, and I say that even whilst watching all those plagued science vessels fly back. But in general, these defilers haven't been as effective as maybe they can be. I think Andre has done quite a nice job of keeping on top of those, and they haven't been so devastating. But Modesty is doing a good job of just kind of harassing Andre's economy to the point where it never really gets going. He's looked in a hugely superior position for a long time now, but that constant harassment has just kept him from getting head and shoulders ahead of the game.
Yeah, definitely. But this Vessel Cloud is still being problematic, although it's all plague. I'm waiting for the one unit to come out and get it. Oh, a couple of random Scourge hitting these more vessels. God, how many vessels does he have? He has so many. Also, he's going to start repairing. He brought all the vessels back to his natural. He might start repairing them, but oh, looks like he's going to lose one of the vessels here at the front. Meanwhile, going in with this Marine Force, there's a D-Matrix Firebat. He's leading the charge. There's two Lurkers here, though. He's got to be careful. Those two Lurkers, yep, are a bit too much, so he's going to pull back a little bit here. Looks like a few reinforcements coming in from the back as well. Can he pick off these Lurkers? He's got to focus fire, and I think he'll be okay here.
Works the magic. D-Matrix coming into play a little bit late on there, but better late than never. That Firebat soaking up a lot of Lurker fire. These Scourge going to land nice and easy on a science vessel. There's one Lurker there being a real pain in the ass. But that's going to get taken down in a second, as well as those Firebats get close up, and that base
So the top left base is going down as well. Again, there's a counterattack at the top left with Dark Swarm. Crackling's taking out everything. The SCVs have nowhere to run. There's Lurkers blocking the retreat. Andre going to lose a significant chunk of his economy at that base, despite killing this Zerg base here. And it looks like Modesty is down to just the left side base is mining with very low saturation. And he's got no bank either. He's at 82 supply. Andre, on the other hand, has a good bank, and he is mining still, although the mineral only is basically mined out. He's got a 3 o'clock base that is pretty fresh, and he's got an okay number of SCVs, and he's got a big supply lead right now, so Andre is still in decent position. However, as we've seen, Defilers and Lurkers and things can just be so scrappy and cost efficient if you just play defensively, so it's not over yet.
Yeah, it's somehow not. I feel like it's on the edge of being over, but Modesty is still giving it everything he's got. But it's probably
SCVs fighting against Lurkers. That is not good.
That is a terrible mix. Oh, Plague going down all over the science vessels. Very nice play, but no Scourge unfortunately to follow it up, and everything explodes at once to irradiate. Boom! The end of the attack is nigh. Those 4 science vessels really making their mark on the game right there. And Andre's force is still roving around in the middle of the map. It looks like it met with some minor resistance of the blood of a few lings on the ground, but not much more than that. And Modesty is still somehow putting units out. I don't know how this is even possible. But
Zerg, man.
We
Zerg.
have. Did he just irradiate a drone? Yeah, he irradiated a drone over the left-hand side, which killed a half, which was 3. Of the drone.
Oh, there's a D-Matrix trick again. Here we go. Is he going to commit? He's not. Yeah. He's chickened out.
Just wanted to give the Firebat a little bit of an experience, I think.
Yeah, he was just faking.
Yeah, he's just faking. But he is eventually, I feel, going to break into that base. He does have a siege tank, but he's probably going to get Dark Swarmed, and that's... Ooh, the Dark Swarm maybe could do it being a little bit further forward than that. These Marines, will he D-Matrix the tank? He needs D-Matrix on that tank. There you go. There
he can go in with the Firebats as well. The Firebats will still work under the Swarm. Is he going to commit, though? Nah, he can't do it. Meanwhile, there's another attack at the 3 o'clock position. There's no Defiler here, though. Is it going to be enough? I'm not sure. There is a Firebat in that bunker. It looks like the Firebat, though, is not helping. Now he's going to help out a little bit. The Marine going to join him in the bunker. I think it might be enough with just the bunker?
Yep, it looks like it actually somehow will be. The bunker is going to hold on. Andre moving around back into the middle of the map to head off more units. I think if he can just hold on to that right-hand side base now, it's probably going to be all right. But Modesty is throwing everything he has at it, knowing that is Dre's last bastion of hope. But oh my goodness, it is not over yet. Modesty keeps going in with more Lurkers, more links. That bunker is super tough. They're soaking up so much crackling fire. That is insane. But those Lurkers, whilst effective, are probably going to get cleaned up fairly quickly without so much support. But CC is lifted for now. Andre is basically not mining, although his supply lead is really pretty significant at this point.
Yeah, 160 to just 60, basically 100 supply lead right now. He's throwing away from units here at the 3 o'clock. The SCVs are actually going to transfer back into the Lurkers. Oh, it looks like he fixed it. But, I mean, yeah, aside from the top left, he's actually not mining, so really needs to get some more SCVs over here ASAPly, which he is doing, it looks like. Meanwhile, Modesty just trying to be as efficient as possible, running Zerglings around, trying to do stuff. He's got a bunch of idle drones at his Midas canal at the bottom left even, which is not helping him at all. He needs every drone mining that he can get. Oh, man, how's he forgot? Okay, it looks like he's fixed that now.
Yeah.
But look at that Vessel Cloud. See, this is the problem, you know, with letting the Terran accumulate science vessels in the game. This is why you see, you know, good Zergs are always really on top of keeping this count low, because once you get up to this number of vessels, it's just almost impossible. Nice EMPs again.
It's a beautiful thing. Andre is very convincingly looking like he's going to bust in here. Just getting those Dark Swarms down in time. Modesty is going to be able to hold on for a bit longer, but Andre is pushing forward. He has a decent siege tank count.
Oh my God.
He has a very nice marine count as well, and we have more EMP going down, more irradiate going down. Andre is just using the full might.
Quick, before they die, check the kill counts on the right side. Oh, Monster Plague! Sorry, Elegant.
It's a ridiculous plague. Sorry, what am I looking at?
There were 27 kills between the lurkers on the right side because SCVs kept transferring back.
Oh no! Oh, and another eraser goes into the mineral lineup, and finally the damaged hatchery is taken down, and Andre, feeling like he's done enough, retreats back out to wait for the Dark Swarm to lay off. Oh my Christ, that is a huge plague that went off on those science vessels. And we didn't even shout Plague sail, we're losing our touch.
Ah, it's my
There's
bad,
so much irradiated stuff right there now, and Modesty is just somehow hanging on with 36 supply. Oh, he produced Idris! One-shotting those science vessels is a beautiful thing.
4 science vessel kills and then he becomes a lurker. That is one badass Hydralisk. Unfortunately, it's a bit too little too late. 34 supply against 147. I think you can see where this game is going.
Yeah, I think we can call this now. Even though that's not a strong suit, you know, I think we're safe.
Yeah, but Modesty is actually going to keep trying here. I mean, the thing is, even if he loses his game, he's not out. You know, he'll just go into the final match. Although I bet you he's really scared that Michael's going to come through and win, and he doesn't want to play against Michael.
yeah, nobody wants to play against Michael. Although, if Andre can do it, then maybe anyone can do it. I seem to hate on Andre a lot, but I actually do respect him as a player.
I was going to say, that's pretty harsh.
I actually do respect him as a player. I just wouldn't have thought he would be the one to beat Michael, but I genuinely do. I think he's got a lot of quality. He just seems to be his own undoing more than anything else at unfortunate moments. But here he is. He's busting through and
GG! Andre advances from the group 2-0. Not what I would have guessed. But there you go.
The D-Matrix King advances through the group 2-0. And that's big for Andre. That's a serious result for him. And
I believe this is his first time in the round of 16, right? He didn't make it through round of 24 before, did he?
Wow. I don't think so.
Yeah. Hey, go Andre! Woo!
Hey! You get a round of applause for that.
Yeah. Everybody introduce him to your sister.
Yeah, please. He's sad.
Okay, so that means we are going to have Michael versus Zaraki in the losers match coming up after this on Aztec. We'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere.